Good day to everybody out there to see thy wealth, water your health, drink a glass of water. And I'm here with you about Hassan Campbell, speaking about Zip with the Drip. You know, Hassan Campbell has a major platform, 500,000 followers. Sometimes I listen to his message and, I get something from it. And then a lot of times I'm like, yo, a lot of what you're saying is contradictory. One minute you trying to help the black man and the black woman, and then the next minute you tearing one down. I honestly don't get what your move is. I don't know if it's only content or you really, really move like this, because for you to be trying to tear down a brother named Zip with the Drip, that's your prerogative. You know what I'm saying? Who got the bigger house? Who got the best car? All this stuff. Whatever. You guys is 50 years old, 45, 50 years old, still competing about cars, houses, money, jewelry, women, so on and so forth. When are you going to step it up and get off of the system that you guys still live under? If that man is living with his mother on his mother's couch, that may be all he can afford. For us to be putting people down because they stand with their mother, they stand with their father, they stand with another family member, I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? I think that we've been taught the wrong way anyway. I think that back in the day, it used to be 3 generations to a household: grandmother, mother, child. And really, that's how you get ahead as a family. And a lot of us are out here depending on the system because we out here trying to become independent at 18 years old. Or if we're not trying to become independent at 18 years old, our mothers and our fathers are kicking us out into the streets. I can't understand why someone like you, with a platform as big as yours, would choose to focus on something so negative. Now, I understand that you have a lot of trauma from what happened with Africa Bambaataa, so on and so forth. I'm not here to be clowning nobody for no sexual assault allegations or whatever the hell it was. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that most people have nasty individuals in their families and it just don't get talked about. You know what I'm saying? But the fact of the matter is, because you have all of that trauma, you can tell, just like I got a lot of trauma. That's like when you see me come on here sometime, I might say something off the sideways, off the rail. Never where I'm trying to demean somebody so much so where I'm saying my house is bigger than yours. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not really about that. It's not really about who has the biggest house. It's about who can sustain themselves and take care of themselves, right? Who can grow their own food? Who doesn't have to go to the grocery store? Who has energy from God, the sun? Who has well water, which I do. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the point that I'm trying to make here. Are you able to do for self? Because if the electrical company cut off your electric, you're tapped out. If the water company cut off your water, you can't take a shower, right? If YouTube cut off their platform, where are you going to get your bread from? You are still connected to the very same individuals that you tell everybody to stay dangerous and live like you're on a run from. You telling everybody to do these things, but you're not telling them how to get up off the system because you're still tied up into the system. You're clowning Zip with the Drip, but you're still tied into the same system, right? You still tied into the same system that you criticizing this man for. And I'm not here to be keeping for Zip with the Drip. I don't really know that man. I don't really care for him. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, your message is all effed up, King. I mean, it gotta be just for the money at this point, is why you keep harassing that man or tearing another man down. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, me talking on this camera like this ain't gonna stop nobody from talking about nobody. I'm doing content just as well as you are. But one thing I'm not trying to do, and one thing I'm trying to get away from, is tearing somebody down. Only thing I'm trying to do at this point is provide value, lift somebody up. And if I have to step here and use your name and pull you up on some of your behaviors, because you almost 50 years old. You almost 50 years old. You got multiple children. You can't be talking about setting an example for somebody. Y'all lying about each other. I mean, this is crazy. This is what we come into to get money. If YouTube shut down a platform, how you gonna get bread? Yeah, you got a couple houses, but do you gotta pay a mortgage? Do you gotta pay the bankers back a whole bunch of interest? Yeah, you're making a lot of money, but do you gotta step into the grocery stores to get your food? Yeah, you're making a lot of money, but how much is that car note every month? If they cut all that income you making from YouTube down, how you gonna make them payments? See, I'm out here where it's real freedom at. Ain't no mortgage out here for me. I got two dwellings on this property. Multiple fruit trees out here, over 100 fruit trees out here. Garden, well water, creek, solar. You know what I'm saying? That's true freedom. Physical freedom anyway. I'm dealing with the mental freedom and the mental trauma that most of us in America go through. You know what I'm saying? It's tough to get away from that. But Lord willing, I'm going to make it there.